As you can see from the previous video, we got all the glass laid down and all the holes are covered. That's why the boat's outside today and not inside like the first video. Oh, apologies. I got these new lights that I installed a few days ago in my shop. Actually, we're not on that right now. Let's go to the boat. We're gonna sand the boat down. We can't just lay glass or resin on top of the glass that's in here now. So we're gonna scuff up the boat a little bit. I'm not gonna bore you guys with the process of sanding. So I'll be right back and then we'll start building some stringers for this boat. So we got the boat back inside. It's on the dolly. That way we can move it around in the shop. It's all sanded down on the inside again. This sanding is really repetitive. That's why I didn't really show you that much. Well, you might be curious what stringers we will be using for this boat right here. And the material is going to be iso board. It is a roofing insulation board, which we'll be cutting down into stringers for the boat. Now, this is kind of like the one at Home Depot with the Pink Panther insulation board, but it's not the same. So roofing board won't burn when you mix up the resin that is going to be used on the bottom of the boat form board right here. That way when it sticks into the boat, it'll stick super well, then you put the glass over it. But the Pink Panther stuff will burn when you mix the resin and the hardener because it'll burn right through the insulation board. So that's why we're using this board for that boat right there. Now it's a little late in the day. Apologies for the wiring. I'm still working on the shop. It's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. But we will be continuing the stringers tomorrow, being that it's a little bit late in the day, so we'll catch you tomorrow. All right, next day here, we got the boat ready to go. We're gonna cut out some stringers and lay them inside the boat. Okay, to make it a little bit easier to understand, I drew this up. So here's the boat, right? To scale, as you can tell. Pretty good drawing. Anyways, so this is your keel for reference to know where the boat is in the middle of the center line. These two channels, or tunnels as people would say, are located on both port and starboard. Now these are our stringers right here with the red and the green. So there'll be two of those. It will start at the stern going all the way up to the bow, and we're gonna make them 6 inches wide, as you can see here. A little diagram. Keel for reference, 2 tunnels. So theoretically that is going to look like this. So, as you can see, the stringers are in the boat. Now, for step 2, we will be doing this. Right now, it looks like this. That's what our stringer is, it's just a block. We want to round it at the bottom because the cabosil will bond it super well to the hull. Now the hull curves, so that's why we want to round it. Then we're going to use a piece of 1708 as a layer. Layer the entire thing with the beveled corners on the foam so that way it has something good to bond to. Then we're going to use a big cover. And we're going to cover it a little bit farther past, and that's going to be the last piece of 1708 inside of this boat. All the stringers are cut out, ready to go. The boat is clean on the inside. I marked some lines where I'm going to place the stringers when I make the copasil. So the copasil consists of aerosol, lamination resin, a little bit of hardener, and some chop strand mat. It's got to be a peanut buttery consistency just because you don't want it to be too wet or too hard because when you lay it down on the boat, it won't do too well. So I recommend wearing a mask for this portion because aerosol is lighter than air and you should not be inhaling any of these chemicals. A little cold out today, so we got the door open because we got to start sanding down these stringers and shaping them so we can lay some glass inside the boat. Day, I don't even know anymore, but yesterday we mixed some copasil. We had to get all these areas patched. I have to sand this down today again, being that I didn't get it done yesterday, and we have an issue right here. where it bubbled up a little bit. I guess the hardener didn't kick or whatever. We don't even know. But just gonna sand it down, cut these areas out, and then keep going. Well, unfortunately, I can't finish it all. I have 3 more big patches and I ran out of resin. The store is closed by now, so in the next episode, I'm gonna flip this boat over, start working on all the imperfections on the bottom, and then we'll be one step closer to being able to float.